Om. 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 Continuation of Om, God manifesting and negative hypnotic spelling language, Lssv 26, Part 2. Om. So again, continued on the list of these attributes of the various, quote, negativities and emotionings. Again, that there is no assigning of blame or complaint, because all of that basically is just dreaming in the fictional reality. So all of the aggressiveness and defensiveness, and then the counter aggression and defensiveness, and the endless cyclical nature of this sort of negativity. So then there are other seeming aspects of that. The linguistic attack, attacking of seeming others that do not actually exist as separate in reality. The language, the linguistic attacking, using language to cast spells of attack, and displaying seeming animosity. There are other forms, such as the thought content of that is libelous or slanderous, or vilifying fictional entities that are not real, disparaging, speaking derogatorily of seeming others, manifesting hatred and anger and hostility, seeming to try to cast a spell of humiliation, seemingly humiliating others. All of this is projectioning of some sort of assigned blame in the dreaming of seeming others and their other seeming behavioring that is unreal, because even in the dreaming there is no way to keep track of all that seeming information and to have assign any veracity whatsoever to it, to the sort of thought content that is spewed in this seeming way. So all of that basically has to be seen through. There are many other aspects to such negative thought content. And again, the antidote is not to assert positivity and positive thought content, because it is not real as well. And there's to be there are to be teachings that we'll have to address this further, but that is basically the main occurrencing seemingly categories of dream content in that regard. Now, the seeming antidote to such negative thought content phenomenon So as other teachings have gone into, there has to be the witnessing of the actual information as it is occurring, and then being able to discern what the nature of it is, or to basically ignore it completely. So there are techniques for being able to see through and to analyze it, or to just witness it without any engagement. So one of the antidotes is to ignore neutrally, to witness. To witness the information. To witness the seeming accompanying emotion involved. To witness all seeming aspects of that phenomenon without judgment. Basically just witnessing it, seeing through it. As true self. Or, so that's one. Two is, or to affirm true self, God's self, through truth content. So this is not positive affirmations about an individual self. It is affirming truth about God, the true self, the true identity. Not body consciousness, not an individual consciousness, but the true identity. So that would be the two, again, is not the positive affirmation, but the affirmation to affirm God's true self as God, with God truth content. Not fictional content, but truth, God truth content. And that has nothing to do with positivity. It is not about positive affirmation. It is about truth affirmation. Affirming, to affirm God. Or three, the combination of both, if that is necessary. And initially it may be so. So in conjunction, there would be the witnessing of, and to ignore the ignorance, the false information, and to see through it, to ignore it, to be neutral about it, to not be reactive to it, or to have no reactions, to not engage, to stay neutral as God's self, as true self. But it's the witnessing aspect of that, which is not entirely God self as God absolute, because there's still witnessing going on, and witnessing is not of the true self, of the complete whole God truth self. So witnessing is an activity. So it's the witnessing of that false information no longer appearing as true, because it is not, and the neutralness of not responding as if it were true. And then the affirming of God as the true self through truth content, through God truth content. And then the third, which we would be with God realization, or at least self-realization and God realization, is that is beyond those two, either one or two or both, 1 and 2. That is 3, which is beyond that, which is being God. So there's no need for witnessing when there's being God. There's just being God. So when there's being God, and then it is realized that it is God whole, all. Seen and unseen. God noumenon and God phenomenon. That all of that seeming dreaming becomes very clearly, apparently, not real. Not about God reality. Not about what God is directly. And so, of course, all of that would be dropped. Because why would there be any engaging of it? There would just be God manifesting directly, the God evolution. God manifesting in completely unlimited. So God omnipotence. God omniscience. God omnipresence. No belief in fiction. No believing. Om. And the language would be God. It's God thought, God language, God reality, descriptive of God actual, direct reality. Om. So the real first step in God manifesting is to remove all the negativity. Quote unquote, negativity. All of that. For the dehypnotization to occur. Then God, truth language is omnipotent. It is so much more powerful, endlessly, than language that is descriptive of a reality that is not real. So there should be seeming practicing of identifying, of seeing through all of this sort of behavioring, all of this dreaming, all of this sort of dreaming, and begin clearing it, begin clearing non-believing, assertion of divinity, assertion of the true self, assertion of God. Om. Om. Soon there are to be teachings about the actual activating, God activation of language, how the mechanics involved in the activation of language, and how it is believed and not believed. Now there can be what would be termed unassailable, the unassailability of God. so that there would be no such thing as spell casting, linguistic spelling that would have any effect whatsoever. Om. In the next teaching, the live streams of SATYAVEDISM, Lssv 27, the live stream, live Q&A, and how to prepare is to be addressed shortly in eternity. Om. Om. Paravak Shakti. Om. Satyanandam. Om. Tat Sat.